Okay, it's episode 21 for Ask M. I love the number 21. You guys know I have a 21-day superhero challenge. 21 is a great number. It takes, 3 weeks they say to build a habit. And let's be honest that I cannot go more than 21 days without alcohol. I love wine. So I think that that's the limit. I tried this 30-day thing like way back in the day when I read Paleo Solution. When I first went paleo, I just was like, I'm gonna do 30 days. I don't know, like 5 years ago, I went crazy. I threw everything out and I went 30 days and it felt like the longest time. But with 21 days, for some reason, even though it's long, God, it's so much better. So that being said, the next superhero challenge is May 2nd. It's a repeat. I've had such great success on this May 2nd or this April 4th challenge. And so May 2nd is going to be a repeat. Please sign up. If you refer somebody to sign up, you will get 20% off anything in my store for shirts. And it's just like as a thank you, because I feel like this knowledge that all these knowledge bombs I'm dropping on the 21-day superhero challenge, people need to know them, and it's 21 bucks. It's just incredible. So superherounleashed.com. Welcome to episode 21. We got great things to talk about. So many good questions this week, so thank you. Use the hashtag AskM and just keep posting on my Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, wherever you want about these questions, and we will get them answered for you every week. Let's get started. First of all, I thought this was really cool because this is a superhero, super_D, and she watched my Ask Em about toothpaste and natural home care, and she switched her toothpaste to fluoride-free Toms. I'm so excited. So people are listening to me, yay. This is cool. So also, check out this cool. So you guys know I have my M pack, but I'm super excited because I have this amazing new little Colorado tag because it's all made in Colorado. Look how cute these are gonna be on my pack. So we're gonna put them on the back so we get a little Colorado tag. That's an update. The questions today are so great. I think you're gonna all relate to them. The first question we have is from Mr. Turtle. This is Mr. Turtle on Instagram. She said, if we are giving up dairy to see if it helps bad acne, do we need to give up ghee too? And that is a great question because I am someone that struggles with acne, and so I have to stay away from dairy. Even butter, even though I hate that, I love butter, and sometimes I just like pretend like I don't have butter issues, and then I have it, and then I break out. So with the best thing about this is that ghee is clarified butter, and so all the lactose is taken out. So it's a little slower of a process. It's really cool, like how long the history of ghee goes back, and it's delicious. And so with ghee, there's a couple kinds. You can get the kind at Whole Foods with the cow on it. I have a lot of Tin Star Foods ghee as well. So it's whatever ghee you want, preferably grass-fed, and then just look, I think that a lot of people don't realize that dairy can cause a lot of skin issues and a lot of even eczema and those kind of things, and it can irritate our gut lining if we're not digesting it properly. So I really think it's always worth at least a week of dairy-free to see what it does for you. If you have asthma, allergies, any of that stuff, I think it's worth it. Great question. Moving on. So this is from X to Pitch on Instagram. She says, I have been a coffee person for as long as I can remember, me as well, and I know you share a love of coffee. What are some other options other than coffee that help get your energy up and going on the morning that are good for your body? Hashtag AskM, hashtag caffeine addiction. Cutting coffee was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, and I've done some really hard shit, like hands down. Caffeine addiction is for real, and I still have decaf, which is so bad for you. It's like all this processed pesticide blah, but there's times I just don't care because I feel like the sense of getting coffee for me is just so, I love coffee. I've been addicted to it since I was 13. I actually think that's probably why I have some sort of sensitivity to it. Sometimes the things we have all the time, if we have an unhealthy gut, our gut can that's basically how our body reacts to food. So it's just, that was the one food food that I didn't take out, and I finally took it out, and I feel a lot better without it. I had a little bit more skin clearing, even more so than without dairy, and then I also felt less anxious, which was huge. And a big thing with my adrenals, when your adrenals, your fight or flight response, your cortisol response, if you're constantly going, which you guys know I am, and then I always have caffeine to depend on that and always be pushing my limit and not listening to my body because I had caffeine and I could power through, it was just really unhealthy. So I got in this dark spot, had to cut caffeine. It sucked. So what did I do instead? So sometimes I started with decaf. I did mate too. Mate was still causing me a little bit of anxiety. And so even those like non-caffeine alternatives were just not good for me. So then I switched to these really great teas, and me and my girl Natalie, she's finally like taking the lead, which I'm so excited because I just don't have enough time to do it. But Witch's Brew Co. is a little tea company we started, and it's gonna be this like great blends of coffee tea. I call it superhero coffee, and it's chicory and ashwagandha and dandelion root and all these great alternatives that you can have. You can get chicory as is, but it's just not very delicious. So I like pairing it with other things, but dandelion root could be really good as well. And then I also really like, as long as I have something hot in the morning, it can help. So even though it's like hot water and lemon and maybe a little bit of like spice, I think that can be really good. Just some sort of ritual. I think that's a big connection that we have with coffee. So I hope that you can find your way caffeine free, but I do think herbal teas are the way to go. Decaf is a good backup plan. Obviously not that great. You know, every time I say I get decaf, they're like, you get decaf? Isn't it so bad? I'm like, I know, but you know what? I just can't win them all. Good question. Okay, this is on Twitter. This is Christy Duncan. She said, how often should bone broth be consumed? How to help the taste of it too? Thank you, #AskM. Good question. Bone broth for me, I have to kind of combine in my dishes. So one of my meal plan options is this like Japanese hot pot recipe where it's bone broth and tons of veggies, and then you basically drop the meat in really quickly and then it cooks and then it's just delicious. So I actually prefer getting bone broth through food like soups and broths and things like that versus just taking a cup and drinking it. But some people can, which is amazing. If you need help with the taste, I think rosemary is fantastic for helping anything liquid be more delicious. Epic, the grass-fed protein company, the bars and all that, they finally have a bone broth, which is going to be awesome. And if you're just look for flavors that you know appeal to you, and I think salt always is delicious tasting. You cannot really overdo bone broth. I just don't think that anyone would drink it as much as that would be too much. If you don't know the benefits of bone broth, it has all these healing properties, so it's great for your ligaments and your joints, but also for your gut. And so if you're trying to heal your gut and keep your gut intact, it can be very good and very therapeutic. Lots of glutamine and all of that stuff. Glutamine, collagen, also great for cellulite. So I think once a day, if you have a gut impaired issue, maybe twice a day. And then outside of that, I am a big believer in potentially supplementation outside of bone broth if there is something else going on. So whether that's glutamine or aloe vera, I have a Repair Vite mix that I use for a lot of my clients from Apex Energetics. So once a day I think is fine, and to improve the taste, just use spices and herbs. Rosemary, what was the one I used today? Thyme. Rosemary and thyme are really good for helping spice things up. Enjoy bone broth. If you haven't tried it, you should make it. It's really easy, or you can just go to Epic and get some. There's just lots of different ways you can have it, but I prefer food. Blah, 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 I'm rambling. Go get some bone broth. Those were, again, great questions. Please keep asking them. I know you guys have them. I always see, like, you know, especially in my comments on my 21-day superhero challenge, there's so much info and it's kind of overwhelming. Use this tool that I have, this Ask M tool, to ask the questions that you want answered, and we will make sure we get to them every week. This is such a fun way for me to get that stuff to you. It's good to learn about your body, and it's good to learn about supplements, and so do it the right way. Hopefully I answered some questions for you today. You guys are awesome. Sign up for my next challenge, May 2nd, and I'll see you guys soon.